BBN Jackfruits. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. Okay, we got a lot to talk about today. First thing I want to say is Taxstone's trial did not actually start today. What happened was they're still searching for jurors. It's a arduous process. Apparently, just so we can be clear, it's just hard for them to find jurors for this case, and I think that might be actually in Taxstone's benefit rather than his hindrance, because it seems like they're making sure that they find people who are capable of doing the job, and they're removing people who just don't want to be there. Now, there's a couple of things I want to say that I found interesting. Real quick, we're gonna go over all of the other stuff, and then I'm gonna come back to Taxstone. There's a couple of things I want to talk about first. But I want to say something that I find really, really interesting about the whole Taxstone situation. There's jurors, people that's on the jury, and they don't want to be there, but you're never going to work on Friday. You're never going to work on Friday. I'm going to say that again. There's going to be zero court on Friday, except for possibly March 31st. There's going to be zero court on Friday. If there is a trial that you would like to be a juror on, this is it. In any regard. So there was a lot of people, they was just like finding all of the reasons not to be there. And the reason why I'm saying that I think that it's good that the judge actually excused a lot of them was this is a trial for a man's life. You don't want to have somebody dictating whether you're going to be found guilty and or innocent, and they're just trying to get home because they don't want to be there. So you don't really want that. It's not that you definitely don't want people that's like, oh man, I can't wait to get on this trial and do the thing. But you absolutely don't want people that just don't want to be there. Okay, a couple of things I want to say about Taxstone case real quick, and then I want to talk about Nas EBK, the Trinitarios thing. I want to mention another thing, and then we're gonna come right back to the Taxstone case. My arm is just not doing well. And then we're going to come right back to the Taxstone case. So first thing I want to say this. Shout out to Jack. So I want to say, one, I want to clap it up for all of the court officers once again. They've just been absolutely incredible. Getting in and out of the building has been snap. Everybody is there to do their job. It doesn't seem like people are there to be dicks. So salute to that. I just wanted to say that. Second is this. The judge is Abraham Clott is his name. Abraham Clott, Clott, and he's incredible. I'm very happy to, once again, we're doing the trial, and we've definitely 100% got another judge there that's going to be fair. So that's all you can really ask for. And besides being fair, he's pretty funny. And he's really, really fair. I wrote, he's pretty funny. And a lot of what he's doing in regards to making sure that they get a good jury pool is incredible. And apparently he is a judge that trains other judges. And that's why there's no court on Fridays, because he trains other judges. So they have a top tier judge. Abraham Clott is a top tier judge that's actually the judge in this particular proceeding. So that's probably in the benefit of Taxstone, not for nothing else. You don't want one of these BS ass judges that's, like, oh, lock them all up. You don't really want one of those guys. So that's probably in the benefit of Taxstone. Another thing I want to say real quick while we're talking about the judge. So I'm writing down my notes. So I'm like, oh man, let me go to the bathroom. I get up, I leave my book there. I go to the bathroom, I come back. So the head court officer in his court, I forgot what you call those guys, comes up to me and he's like, yeah, you're writing down stuff over here. He's like, I don't know if that's acceptable or whatever. He's like talking to me. So I'm like, you know what? You can even see what I'm writing. I am not writing down. When he says off the record, I'm not writing any of that stuff down. So stuff that's off the record, I'm not writing any of that stuff down. I mean, I hear it, so I know it, Just so we can be clear, I hear it. I know it. I know all the stuff that he said that was off the record. Don't get that confused. But that's like anybody else in the courtroom. But I have not been writing down anything that's off the record. And when something is it not off the record or not on the record, but it's probably spoken about, I have a special notation that I use to make sure that I don't come here and say that, especially before the end of the trial. So I'm taking certain precautions to make sure that I'm not doing anything that could hurt either side, because I'm not trying to. I don't want to hurt either side. So I'm taking special precautions in my own self. That's why I keep trying to tell you I'm doing this at a different level. In any regard, so somebody apparently when I went to the bathroom probably said, "Yo, that guy's over there. He's writing stuff," and like tried to get them to stop me from being able to write. So he said he's gonna talk to the judge, right? I'm assuming that's what happened. So he said he's gonna talk to the judge, right? So they have. I'm still doing whatever I'm doing. So they have a thing that happens. There's a thing going on with a juror, whatever the hell. So he goes up and I hear him. He's whispering, but I can hear him. My ears is good. He's whispering, but I can hear him. And he says, "Well, Judge, we got a guy taking notes." Judge didn't even want to hear what notes I was taking, how the notes I was taking, what part I was writing. He didn't want to hear nothing. He just said, "Get out of here. It's okay. Let's go. Let's go." If somebody did complain, they hurt. They hurt real bad. They hurt all the way down to the core. Basically, this is open court. It's open court. Imagine telling somebody that they can't take notes about some shit that was happening in public. Like, what the hell are you talking about over here? So, yeah, so that happened. And also the judge made another point to mention that nobody should be concerned about coming to court because they're going to make sure that the best security is provided when you're in the building and nothing will happen to nobody nowhere. So I don't know why he needed to say that, but he needed to say that, I guess. So shout out to Judge Abraham Clott, that's his name, Judge Clott. Shout out to him. New Yorker, born and bred, apparently. So I want to talk about that. We're gonna get to this case. I got quite a few things to say, but I'm gonna need to. I want to talk about this Nas EBK thing, this Trinitarios thing, and I want to mention one other thing real quick that don't got nothing to do with actual news. This is more about movies. I just thought about something. Remember Spider-Man: No Way Home? You know that the villain was the Vulture, right? You know what vultures are? Vultures are scavengers, right? So what did they make the Vulture in the movie? They made him an actual scavenger. He was scavenging the wreckage of the aliens. So I thought that was dope. I just realized that shit. I don't know if anybody else realized that shit, but I just realized that. He's a vulture. And I don't even think they call him the Vulture in the movie, do they? I don't think they call him the Vulture in the movie. But he is a vulture because he's a scavenger that flies. With that being said, Nas EBK arrested. I want to say this real quick. I don't want to stay on this. This isn't real big news. I think he getting what he deserved. Nas EBK arrested. I want to say something. All of y'all that do those fake pranks where y'all go start trouble with people and then y'all say, "Yo, I'm just playing." Y'all need to all go away to dinosaur. All of y'all. Ain't nobody playing with y'all. You can't just walk up to people in the middle of the street and start playing games with them that they don't want to play. So apparently what Nas EBK did was he was somewhere in, not in New York City, somewhere else. So basically he left all the way out of New York City. He went to, I think, Jersey somewhere, something Clove or something. And they were at a mall. And then while he's at the mall or wherever the hell they was at, a Walmart or something, there was somebody that had bags with a wife. And he walked up on them like, "Yo, those are my bags." His homie was like, "Yo, those are my bags," threatening them. It was threats. And then when homeboy was like, yo, what you talking about? They said, yo, it's a game, man. Yo, it's a game. We playing with you. Nah, we not doing none of that. All that shit is lame shit. Y'all supposedly got ops in the city. Y'all go all the way out of the city to go bother civilians. And then I bet you, if those people show up to court, or whoever show up to court so you could get testify against you, you're going to call them a snitch. No, they're not a snitch. They're a civilian. And if they show up and they testify against you, you was committing a crime. You can't be outside just threatening people. That's one. Two, you kicked the damn Walmart worker. So you assaulted somebody. So no, this ain't all fun and games. You dudes is getting too high off of drugs that y'all know nothing about, and y'all pretending like all you doing is smoking weed. I'm going to say another thing. All of you kids that's popping those pills, popping those perks, you teenager, you in your early 20s, and you popping perks. Yo, I'm on a perk. I don't know what the fucking numbers of them shits is. I'm on a perk 8,000. I'm on a perk 1020. I'm on a perk. I don't know what them numbers mean. When y'all get about 35, 40, before y'all even get that old, y'all gonna need surgery. Because all of that stuff down there gonna stop working. Y'all destroying yourselves. Your organs in your body. You're destroying yourselves. So I can't talk to the people who's already popping them pills because y'all gonna do what you're doing. But for the people who have not started popping those pills, don't. For the children who have not started popping those pills, don't. Copy? When I was growing up, people didn't brag about being a crackhead. Y'all crackheads. Them perks, I don't care. I don't care what nobody say. You crackheads. That's the equivalent of what y'all doing from when I was growing up. Y'all using some drugs y'all know nothing about. Y'all can't even maintain yourselves when y'all go out in public. And then you have the damn nerve in this particular situation to call yourself doing a prank when all you doing is walking around threatening people. I didn't have any real raising. But I am so happy that I was not raised by your parents. And I'm not just talking about this dude. I'm just talking about all of you pranksters that go out there and overstep the boundaries lines. If you're doing a prank to somebody and they get offended, you're supposed to apologize while explaining it's a prank and then back up and get the hell up out of there. Not threaten them and talk about how, yo, you don't know who I am. You doing the prank, nigga. The hell is wrong with you? So maybe I didn't have any raising. But I'm very happy that your parents were not my parents. Because when I was your age, we didn't conduct ourselves like that. Period. But we had people in the hood that wouldn't allow for people to conduct themselves like that. That's sucker shit. Go do a prank to them dudes that you beefing with online all day. The ones that want to beef back, not the ones that don't really care, don't want to be involved with you niggas. Y'all niggas go and y'all want to involve yourselves in people's lives that's trying to do bigger and better things. You a sucker. Go argue with those people that don't got nothing in life to live for, like you. All right? Everybody got something to live for, but you don't know that you do. Go argue with the other people that don't know that they got something to live. They got something to live for. Stop being out here and arguing with people and creating situations with people that know that they got something to live for, and you don't even feel like you got anything to live for. That's bananas. I gotta do a thing every time the show starts. Hold on. I just thought that was crazy. I didn't think it was so bad until I saw the actual video of what he was doing. Those people was just sitting there waiting for a cab or some shit. he walked up on them, just so we could be clear. I'm not going to show it because I'm not doing that. His man walked up on him. It was 3 of them. One with the camera, him and his man. Walked up on him, and a man started saying, yo, those is my bags. Give me my bags. Let me see my bags. Those is my bags. And this dude with his woman. She start laughing. Because she trying to diffuse the situation, if not nothing else. Because 9 times out of 10, she know what her man is about. Now, if that dude would have had something on him and just decided to light you niggas up, he'd be going to jail right now because y'all don't know how to act. And that's why I say sometimes the devil just wants you to fight. That's it. The devil don't care who lose. The devil go send his crash test dummies right at you. The devil don't care who lose. With that being said, I'm not saying free that nigga. Let that nigga stay locked up till he learn his lesson. When he learn his lesson, then free him. One last thing before we get back to Taxstone. Trinitarios leader, the boss of the Trinitarios, gets life in prison. Oh, 2 more things. I got 2 more. A boss of a Trinitario gets life in prison. Apparently, he ordered, or his orders led to the deletion. 3 people losing their life. One person was 16. The other person was, I think, 18 or 17. And there was another person that was 22. They ended up giving this dude life. Please get your kids out the street. Please get your kids out the street. It's important. There's too many people in the street that they don't care about life. They don't care about what they're doing. They don't got nothing to live for. You understand? Like, they literally don't have nothing to live for. Not that they don't have anything to live for, but they can't see it. They have no purpose. They don't want no purpose. Get your kids out the street, man. Figure something out. Nope, let me block this person immediately. I just mentioned it. You could rewind a minute. I don't want to just repeat myself back over. Sorry about that, SC. All you got to do is rewind it a couple of minutes. I'm immediately blocking this person. What the hell are you talking about? Not you. Somebody over here talking about, do I want explicit photos? No, I don't. I am blocking you immediately. Get out of here. I ain't on that type of time. Peace. Just rewind it a couple of minutes. Don't worry. You don't even got to rewind it back far. Rewind it back 5 or 6 minutes. You're going to get everything I said on that. All right. So listen, pay attention. Also, homeboy that got convicted for the murder, or we all know he did it, of Nipsey Hussle, he gets 60 years to life. He gets 60 years to life. Let's do roll call. I didn't say nobody's name. Shout out to Nick the Slick. Salute. Shout out to Nolans. He's dropping that frost. Shout out to SC. Shout out to Rude. Don't nobody see them dots Jones. Hope everything is going well with you and yours. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready to get into the Taxstone? I take notes differently. I thought that was funny. I'm going to mention this one more time since some of y'all just got in here. I'm going to mention this one more time while to lead back into the Taxstone conversation. I did that quick, only 20 minutes in. Good. First of all, the judge in this case is named Abraham Clott. He's actually really, really good. He trains other judges, and it was a dope-ass situation that happened. Salute the Bear. How you doing, my brother? There was a dope-ass situation that happened. Listen and pay attention. I'm writing my papers. I go to the bathroom. I come back. One of the court officers, the lead court officer, comes up to me and asks me about what am I writing, basically trying to say he don't know if I have the ability to take notes or whatever the case is. Give me 1 second, I'm blow my nose. All right. So basically what happened was this. So he was like, came up to me. He was like, yeah, I don't know if you could take these notes. I don't know how to court, whatever the case is, right? Shout out to him. This is not a knock on him. So I'm assuming somebody said something to him about me taking notes. That's what I'm assuming happened. So he came up to me and he, because at the end of the day, if somebody voiced that problem, I guess you do got to come talk to me. So I'm not upset at nothing about him. So I'm not upset at nobody at all. So he comes up to me, he voices the issue. Yo, look, there's a I gotta go look and see if there's people getting kicked. I gotta go check a thing. Anyway, so he comes up to me. He's like, see if there's an issue or whatever. Boom. Right? So he's talking to me about whatever. He's like, I don't know if you could take notes, this and that. I'm like, yo, look, man. He's like, you might be taking names of these people, like saying shit that basically saying that I might be doing things that it's obvious that I should not be doing, so I wouldn't be doing. Like, you understand what I'm saying? This is the best example I could give. You know how, shout out to SC with the $10 drop. He said, spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. It's the Brooklyn way. We in Brooklyn, motherfuckers. Shout out to SC with the $10 drop. So, just so we can be clear, so he comes up to me and he says whatever he says, right? So he's very friendly about it, by the way. And I've seen him a couple of times. He's extremely cordial. So I'm explaining to him, no, I'm not taking down the names of anybody. I understand that this is still jury selection, and this is there's certain things that are uh, fragile information, it's delicate matters or whatever the case is, right? So he says, don't worry, I'm gonna go ask the judge about it, whatever the case is, right? So I'm still doing what I'm doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm being a little bit more obvious when I'm not writing in my book, though. That's the one thing that I did do. I'm gonna add that. I'm being a little bit more obvious when I'm not writing in my book, so they can have a better understanding of when they're talking about sensitive information that I'm not doing anything that I'm not supposed to be doing. Copy? Boom. So, so he finally gets an opportunity to ask the judge about me writing in the book. He ain't say me specifically. He just was like, somebody's taking notes. And before he could get all of the stuff out, the judge was like, it's okay. So if somebody did try to F me over and make it so that I couldn't record, first thing I couldn't not record. I couldn't write. First thing I want to say is I actually have a pretty dope ass memory. That's the first thing I want to say. I actually got a pretty dope ass memory. So I basically remembered everything that I wrote. I'm just writing it down for just, for whatever purposes. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. The truth can never be disrespect. I just want to say that. That's why I can hunt this shit. And yes, the truth can be disrespect, by the way. It's not disrespect that is the truth. It's disrespect how you deliver the information. You can deliver the truth disrespectfully, right? Like somebody's feet could stink, and you could be like, yo, you should probably change your socks. Or you could be like, what the fuck happened, homie? You gotta go outside. It can't be disrespect. With that being said, let's start off with one of the I'm gonna get to the actual what happened in court. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna say is that I can't talk about this. Well, I can, but I'm not. I'm gonna leave that out. They actually I thought this was funny. So I'm not saying nobody's name, obviously. So there was a juror, and he was upset because when they were saying his name, they wasn't saying his middle initial. Like, you know how Michael B. Jordan name is Michael B. Jordan? Well, they was like saying Michael Jordan, like, but that's not the guy's name. But they were saying like Michael Jordan, and the dude got pissed off about this shit. And the judge had to literally talk to him outside the presence of all the other jurors. And he was like, you look, there's a B. It wasn't a B, it was a different letter, but I'm just saying the B. There was a B on my birth certificate. My name is Michael B. Jordan. And that's how I want. Yo, I was like, yo, this dude is bananas. The judge entertained it though. And when I saw the judge entertain that bullshit, I was like, you know what? This guy's pretty cool. The judge entertained this bullshit. It made no sense. Shout out to that. All of that is stuff that is not pertinent to anything that y'all need to know. That's for me. So the trial is expected to last until March 31st. They're expecting for the trial to last until March 31st, just in case anybody was curious. They're expecting for the trial to end March 31st. There's going to be a couple of days off. Don't worry about that. I'll tell y'all when these days come up. If anybody is trying to get to court, they're going to start at 10 o'clock on most days. I just want to do this, and then I'm going to tell you what I observed. So right now, there's 12 jurors. I think they removed one for a reason, but generally speaking, there's 12 jurors right now. They was actually looking for 6 alternates today. So they have the 12 jurors. They're looking for the 6 alternates, just so we can be clear. So about 11 o'clock, the jurors came in, were seated. He gave them the jury instructions. And I want to talk about the jury instructions for 1 minute, because he basically gave the type of jury instructions that I'm constantly telling y'all. I keep trying to tell you, I know the law. I know the law to a degree, right? So I've studied it a little, right? So basically, one of the things that happened was, I want to say this. They had jurors that was just trying to leave for like BS reasons. I don't think it makes any sense. You're never going to be working on Friday. There's no court on Friday for this trial, for the explicit purpose that this particular judge, I believe he trains other judges. So there's no court on Fridays. So there's no court on Fridays. So for the people that don't want to be in, there's no court on Fridays. Imagine having to go serve on a jury and you get the choice of having to serve on a Friday or not. You're going to choose no Fridays, right? There's no court on Fridays, except for if they have to have court on the 31st. The judge explained in court, right, that you got to go on the evidence and that this is only an indictment, that the fact that he was indicted and the fact that he is on trial does not mean he's guilty. He went over this a couple of times and he stated it in a few different ways in order for it to be clear. If there's anybody that cannot comment, I would like to know. Please DM me or something. I want to know if there's people getting blocked without my knowledge. All right, so the judge explained that the state has to prove that he's guilty. That right now, as of right this moment, he's innocent. Right now, he's innocent. He's only been indicted on these charges. Being indicted on charges do not mean that you're guilty. Do y'all remember I just had an argument with somebody in the chat about that the other day? Just the other day. Wasn't there somebody in here? I think that was yesterday. And what are they trying to say? Well, they indicted him. And I was like, that don't mean anything. Do y'all remember that was last night, wasn't it? Did we have this conversation last night? The judge went over multiple times. He said it in various different ways. that he is only being indicted. He's not being, he's only been charged. He is not guilty. He's still innocent. The state has to prove that he's guilty. And then the judge said something that I'm constantly telling y'all again. His attorneys do not have to prove that he's innocent. And he used this as the best example. He said, you know how you a kid and your parent think you did a thing, and then your parent tells you that you got to explain in order for them to believe that you didn't do the thing? So that's not the case here. The defendant does not have to take the stand, and his lawyers do not have to prove he didn't do anything. What do I constantly tell y'all? You do not, about 3-4 days ago, maybe a week ago, somebody came in, the last time we went to court, somebody came in here and said, what do I think the defense is going to say, right? What do I think the defense is, how are they going to try to get him off? What are they going to say? What did I tell y'all? Look, listen, tell me if I'm saying anything wrong. What did I tell y'all? I said, I can't tell you what the defense is going to do. Well, I can't tell you what I think the defense is going to do until I know what the prosecution is going to do. Because if there's a good defense attorney, all you're trying to do is tear the prosecution's case apart. You're never trying to prove that your client is innocent. I told y'all, right? I said, that's what messed up Tory Lanez. I told y'all that, right? The judge literally said, Taxstone, Darrell Campbell does not have to take the stand. Him not taking the stand does not mean that he's guilty. His attorneys do not have to prove his innocence. The state has to prove that he's guilty. Once again, there is no YouTube guy out here doing this that's better than me at this. I don't care what kind of paperwork they pull out of their freaking butt cracks. I don't care how many people they get to be on a panel with them. I don't care. I'm literally telling y'all how court works. And this is why I don't be wanting to get into BS arguments and conversations with people that don't know what they're talking about. Not that I'm mad at them, not that I'm angry at them, not that I'm trying to force them to do what I want them to do. But when you're talking to somebody that don't know what they're talking about, you're only going to talk in circles. There's no other way that it's going to happen. You're just going to talk in circles because they can't even understand what you're saying. And or they're trying to force you to say something that ain't true. So they're just trying to figure out how to get you to force to say a thing. Like the person the other day was trying to convince me to force me to get to say what the defense is going to do. I don't know what the defense is going to do. I need to know, first of all, I need to know what I need to hear the opening statements from the prosecution before I even could formulate a good strategy that the defense could use. So I can't tell you a strategy that the defense could use. Shout out to the judge for making that so clear. That's one of those times that I wish I was recording. I wasn't, obviously. But that's one of the times I wish I was recording. I wish. I wish. Because he explained the thing that I've been trying to explain here for the longest, obviously better than I could explain it. Okay, so Taxstone is on trial for, I'm going to tell you what the charges actually are. He's indicted for murder. He's indicted for attempted murder on 2 people. And he's indicted for assault in the first degree. I wrote down 2 people, but I heard the judge say 3. So I might have missed one of the people. So Tax is on trial for the murder of Ronald McFadder. And basically what that entails is that he brought the weapon there and fired it with the intent to do what he did. There was intention behind it. That's basically what the judge intimated, clarified, that when he brought the weapon there, it was an intention to use the weapon. There was an intention. Now, I want to stop one quick second because I want to explain something to y'all. Y'all know how there be people that they go get indicted for murder, and then people be like, yo, why is it murder 2 and not murder 1? And I'd be like, well, if it's murder 1, they have to prove that the guy meant to do it. If it's murder 2, then all they got to prove is that the person did it. Pardon me. If it's murder 2, all they got to do is prove that the person did it. If it's murder 1, they have to prove that the person was intending to do it before they did it, or along those lines, that there was an intention. You understand what I'm saying? Before the fact, it was like premeditated. There was an intention. Murder 2 is not an intention. You understand? There was no pre-intention. There was no, you didn't plan on doing this beforehand. It's just something that you did, and you did something on purpose, and the thing that you did on purpose created the situation, but you didn't plan on doing this thing to create that situation before it happened. So why is this so important? Besides, I try to delineate the difference between this with y'all all the time, and sometimes we have people that come into the chat and try to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. This is why so often when y'all see these people and y'all be like, oh, but they meant to do this, the government has to prove there was an intention. Now I want to mention something real quick. This is why, what do I keep saying? All of those videos where Taxstone was talking about he was going to slap him, but Taxstone was talking about violence that he was going to commit against Troy Ave. What have I been telling y'all? That's not good, and that does not help Tax. My dude, I've been telling y'all nothing wrong. I've been telling you 0 things wrong. I've been on point with what I'm talking about. So basically, just so we could be clear, murder 1, there was an intention. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't something that happened because of something that was being done, and it was coincidence. There was an intention. Now, he's also being charged with attempted because Troy Ave got hit, but he's still alive. So they're basically saying that he intended to take both of them out. He only got one of them, and the other one was hit. Now, there was a couple of other people who also got hit. I think there was 2. Obviously, I can read their names because obviously we know who they are, but I'm not gonna at this time. And those were assault in the first degree because there was no intent to take their lives. You get it? Like, okay, so they were shot and Troy Ave was shot. But the state is saying Troy Ave was a target. You get it? They weren't a target. They just collateral damage. I don't want to say it like that, but like that. But they're also saying, just so we could be clear, that these people were hit and they were intended to do injury. So 2 more charges he's also being hit with, just so we could be clear. Criminal possession of a weapon in the 2nd degree. Possession of a firearm outside of the home and or business. And illegal possession of a loaded firearm with the intent to use against another person outside of the home and or place of business. So those are the charges that he's currently facing. Now, they talked about cooperating witnesses, just so we could be clear. Now, also, just so we could be clear, a lot of this stuff was spoken about the last time I was there also, because they speaking about the same things with all of the jurors, right? But this time I decided I didn't have nothing to take notes with last time. I had something to take notes with this time. If, just so we could be clear, I would have had something to take notes with last time, I wouldn't have stayed today. Because I've already had these notes, so I wouldn't have stayed. Is anybody getting kicked out? I'm curious. Let me know. Okay, so they talked about cooperating witnesses. I'm gonna go over this real quick. So basically, they flat out said this. Ooh, my knee. Let me move this out the way a little. So they flat out said this. Which Fed case? I mean, they could bring up any case, I would assume. That anybody, why wouldn't they be able to? I mean, I would assume they can bring up any case they choose to. SC, are you still in here? I'm curious to find out if people are getting kicked out or removed from the chat after they do donations. I'm curious to find out. Okay, good. Did they bring up the Fed case? I'm getting some weird feedback over here, if y'all don't mind. I think people are getting kicked. So why wouldn't they? Okay, let me finish what I'm doing over here, and then I'll answer questions. Is that fine? Let me finish what I'm doing over here, then I'll answer questions. Because why shouldn't they be able to bring up a case that he pled guilty to? I don't think that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why you would ask such a question. And they didn't speak about that in court, so I wouldn't know. But I don't see no reason why they wouldn't be able to. If you're getting kicked, please come back and let me know that you got kicked, because I think that people are getting kicked out, because I think I'm almost getting kicked out. All right, so they talked about cooperating witnesses, and basically the judge said that there are some witnesses who will be testifying, so they can hopefully get a favorable recommendation from the district attorney's office to the judge in whatever case that they're involved in, so they could get a favorable recommendation and, either do less time or quite possibly not do any time. So I'm led to believe that Troy Ave actually did not have those charges dropped against him, and those charges, he might still be up against those charges. So they're not asking that there be a guilty verdict. They're asking that whoever the cooperating witnesses are, because there's more than one. They said witnesses, so I'm assuming there's more than one. Whoever the cooperating witnesses are, it's if they testify to the if the prosecutors, think that they testified the best that they can. You understand what I'm saying? If their testimony not whether he gets found guilty or innocent or anything like that, but whether their testimony is whether they testified well, you know what I'm saying, whether they went up there, tried to withhold information, things like that, so if they didn't go up there and try to withhold any information, their testimony is consistent with whatever they was told previously. They go up there, they do whatever I would ascertain a good job would be assumed to be. Then what they're going to do is they're going to give them a favorable recommendation to the judge that they have to go in front of. So the judge made this clear that this is a situation that's going on, that there will be people that will be testifying, and they might be testifying in hopes of trying to make it so that in their cases, they are maybe exonerated, I guess, or not put into jail for extended periods of time. I hit the wrong button, and on top of that, it still say daytime out there. So let me fix this. And we don't have our music up. Let me put our music up. Man, my arm is messed up. My apologies. All right, so the jurors was obviously asked how they felt about a situation like that. Should the deal be allowed? Also, this is very important. Just because somebody is a witness, that does not mean that they're telling the truth. Just because they're a cooperating witness, that doesn't mean that they're telling the truth. And they basically said, couldn't you listen to these individuals and be fair? Basically, you don't. Just because somebody is testifying, that doesn't mean that they're telling the truth. It's like the internet. You always got people talking shit about other people. Most of these people are lying. You understand what I'm saying? Like, most of the time you hear somebody talking trash about somebody else, they're lying. More times than not. So basically, this is the same thing, and he was basically asking something along those lines. Just because you hear somebody say something, do you think that they're going to be telling the truth, or whatever the case is? That just because somebody is testifying, that doesn't mean that they're necessarily telling the truth. Also, there's going to be a witness that is most likely going to admit to being had that been convicted of previous crimes. So, witness and or witnesses that will admit to being convicted of previous crimes. Asked if do they think that they could be credible? Boom, boom, boom. And he spoke about implicit bias. That's basically somebody being biased against an individual. Like, you might not really care for black people, or you might not care for rap music. You understand? This is a situation where you got people that are in the rap field. Also, he made one last thing, and then I'm gonna get to whatever you guys want to talk about. Wait, two more pages real quick. Wait, I don't know if I can talk about that. I don't know if I feel comfortable. Wait, we'll do this page and I'll look at the next one. Said Taxstone is presumed innocent. I thought that was dope. He let everybody know Taxstone is presumed innocent. It's up for the government, the state, to prove their case. Taxstone and his lawyer does not have to prove that Taxstone is innocent. Taxstone already has a presumption of innocence. The state has to prove that Taxstone is guilty. Period. The prosecutor has to provide evidence that shows guilt. What do I constantly tell y'all about all a witness usually is? All a witness is this. A witness contextualizes actual evidence that they have. That's what a witness is there for. Unless you're a witness that's like you're an eyewitness, because these are two different things. If you're an eyewitness, you're like, I saw the thing that happened. I was the only ones there. You're an eyewitness. Well, sometimes a witness is there to contextualize whatever evidence that they already have. In this particular case, just so we can be clear, they have video evidence. I'm pretty sure that the witnesses that are going to come up and they're going to testify to contextualize what we see on the video evidence. That's what they're going to be there for, most likely. At least these particular witnesses that they're talking about, I believe that that's what they're going to be there for the most part, to contextualize evidence that is already there. An eyewitness is just a witness that says, no, I seen it. I was the video cameras over here. That's what an eyewitness is. Normally, a witness is there to contextualize the evidence and help the jury to understand the perspective of the evidence, or their perspective, or a perspective of the evidence, and be able to understand how the evidence is important in whatever this case might be. So that's what witnesses are there for. I know people, that's what I keep trying to explain. When y'all be talking to these other YouTube content creators about, even Whack 100, when y'all be talking to these guys about paperwork and about court, y'all be so, not y'all, but these content creators be so far off. They don't be knowing what they talking about. They just be flapping their gums. And then they got a whole bunch of other people that don't know what they talking about cheering them on. They just be flapping their gums. They don't know what they talking about. So that's why I be saying, please, I don't want to go talk to these people. I don't want to get into a conversation with people that don't know what they're talking about. Because from a distance, people can't tell who's who. So he's presumed innocent. The people have to prove that Taxstone, if the state doesn't prove that Taxstone is guilty, then Taxstone wins. No, now they haven't stepped foot in the courtroom. That's a fact, SC. My dude. Hold on. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's finish. Some people don't know what the hell they be talking about, man. And then when I tell people they don't know what they talking about, everybody get mad at me and say I think I'm a know-it-all. So I don't know what to tell you. It is proof. Just so they could be clear, they said Taxstone has to be proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm going to explain something that's so important about this reasonable doubt thing real quick. People, it's not beyond a shadow of a doubt. All right? You don't have to prove the court, the defense, the prosecution, pardon me, doesn't have to prove that you're guilty beyond the shadow of a doubt. Like, it don't have to be shadow of a doubt. No, beyond a reasonable doubt. Like, you know how, just so we can be clear, who was in here that day that I was talking sports with that dude, and he was trying to tell me that Steph Curry was going to be able to catch LeBron James in scoring, and I was busy trying to tell him he couldn't. Like, he had no reasonable foundation. No matter how I kept showing him that in order for Steph Curry to catch LeBron James, it had to be an unreasonable. It was not reasonable. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what in the heck are you talking about, fam? But he was still arguing. He did the numbers himself and didn't come close. But he was still arguing. You was here, right? Dude ignored the math and all. He was still arguing. You understand? So what you have to understand is it's beyond a reasonable doubt. So that's why when people who is irrational and unreasonable try to get me into conversations, I don't really want to talk to them. That was crazy. I was bananas. I should upload. I gotta re-upload that video. But I don't want to just do it to make fun of the guy. But I really do gotta re-upload that video. Just the part where he was just talking crazy. Just that part. The part where he was talking crazy. Can I say something real quick? I keep getting proven that I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm talking about. I think at this point, if you just don't think I know what I'm doing and you just don't think I know what I'm talking about, it's just hate. I'm fine with you just hating me, all right? But for the rest of the people that aren't just hating for the sake of hating, you can always pull up to the Cash App, the PayPal, or the Super Chat. You could always become a Green Team member. You could always watch some videos, and you could always hit the like button. You can support the channel. I obviously know what I'm doing. Literally, all of the judges, all of everything the judge was the directions he was giving to the jury is basically the stuff that I tell y'all all the time. You notice how much of this stuff I'm just repeating that you've heard me say how many other times? How many other times have you heard me say this stuff? So you trying to tell me most of my conversations, I'm literally telling you what's happening in court, or I'm talking about God. And without you even knowing it, I'm telling you scriptures. And without you even knowing it, I'm telling you exactly how the court works. But I'm the guy that's... Anyway, Taxstone has to be proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. A reasonable doubt. Not some, if nobody's seen him do it personally. No, a reasonable doubt. Just so we could be clear. It is proof that leaves you with no doubt that could be explained reasonably, not irrationally. Like that dude that was over here talking about Curry the other day. That was irrational. You understand? Reasonable doubt. So even if you're satisfied that other people were shot, and you think he probably did it, you have to say not guilty. So the fact that people were shot is not proof that he's guilty. Like the fact that he's on trial is not proof that he's guilty. Then somebody the other day tried to say that they're going to find him guilty because he was on trial. And I said that doesn't work like that. And they was trying to argue with me. And somebody dropped $5 to put them on a timeout. Shout out to Sebastian Tompkins. Sebastian Tompkins dropped the $5 to put the person on timeout because they was talking crazy. Who was here and saw that? Put a frost in the chat if you was in here and saw that. The judge said, you could be satisfied that the other people were shot. But if you think that he just probably did it, that's still not guilty. Copy? So if you're like, I don't know, it might have been, that's still not guilty. It has to be beyond a reasonable doubt. If you are not convinced beyond a reasonable doubt, you have to find him not guilty. Even if you think he probably did it. That's literally what the judge said. Literally. He was talking pretty slowly, and I think I wrote that verbatim. You have to be convinced beyond a reasonable doubt. The verdict can't be made due to assumptions. The verdict can't be made due to sympathy. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't be like, oh man, but I don't want to send a black man to jail. Not guilty. No, you can't do that. And you can't assume. You understand what I'm saying? You have to make the verdict dependent on the information in which you were given or it was displayed. Once again, Taxstone does not have to prove his innocence. You get it? I'm going to just say this one more time. When the person came in here the other day and they was like, what do I think Taxstone's defense is going to be? And I'm busy saying, I don't know what his defense is going to be because how can I? I don't even know what the prosecution is saying. And then that person was like, tried to make it seem like I was doing something wrong. I'm not doing nothing wrong. Maybe you don't know how court works. Once again, you are never trying to prove your client's innocence. You are trying to prove that the prosecution doesn't have a case. I don't know how often I got to say that. I'm going to say it again, though. Let me get this off the screen. I got the wrong graphic up there. Give me 1 second. What the heck? Why don't I disappear? Give me 1 second. Let me see something. All right, there we go. Delete. No. What the fuck? There we go. What's going on over there? In any regard, you're never supposed to try to prove that your client is innocent. You're there to prove that the state don't got a case, that the feds don't got a case. You're not trying to prove your client's innocence. Once again, you really can't prove anybody is innocent of anything. Anyway, the only way you can convict is if the government proves their case beyond a reasonable doubt. If Tax does not testify, that is not evidence of guilt or innocence. You cannot surmise that what he would have said if he would have testified. You could not use Tax not testifying against them. Have no expectation of hearing evidence from the defense. The judge said, listen, do not have any expectation of hearing evidence from the defense. I'm going to tell you the dope thing, right? So, when the judge stands up in front of a courtroom and tells the jurors and the court all of the shit that I tell to y'all all the time, that just makes me feel good. That makes me feel real good about the job that I do. I just want to redo this now. That makes me feel real good about the job that I do. Because a couple of y'all been in here a lot, right? Isn't this the stuff that I say whenever we're talking about court? This is the stuff that I say whenever we're talking about court, right? Isn't it? It is, isn't it? This is what the judge said. This is all the things that I tell y'all about court. Isn't it? Now, there's going to be people that's going to hate and say, yo, why you always bigging yourself up? But those same people are going to be the people that's telling you I'm always wrong. They've been lying to you. They've been trying to make you dumb. You should be upset at them. You should be upset at the people that were trying to make you dumb by telling you the things that I'm saying that's correct is wrong. They're trying to make you stupid. They're attacking your intelligence. Yeah, they're insulting me, but they're attacking your intelligence. They're trying to make you dumb. I'm not. All I'm doing is sharing the information that I have. Period. And they're trying to make you dumb. They're trying to make you stupid. They're trying to have you walking around in the world talking to people sounding like an idiot. I'm trying to have you walking around in the world talking to people and impressing them. There's a difference. We ain't the same. If there's any questions, put it in the chat. I want to answer some questions. Any questions, put it in the chat. I put an invite up. Court is supposed to start. They said next Wednesday. I think we're off on Monday. Tuesday they got to go back one more time for the BS, and I think it's going to be Wednesday. It's going to be the next day. Before I go into my diatribe about the next thing that I want to talk about, I want to give you an opportunity to ask me some questions. Please don't wait until I start talking and getting deep into something to ask me questions while I'm right now taking a little short break to see if anybody want to ask a question. But yeah, basically the judge told the court basically the stuff that I say all the time, man. All of the stuff that I be saying when I be trying to put y'all on the game, how the court work, that's basically what the judge said, man. Let's keep it in the stack. And it was dope, by the way, just so we could be clear. It was dope. It feels good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it feels good. It was dope. Like, literally everything I was saying in court. Like, it was dope. Like, literally everything that I was saying, the judge was repeating in court. I really don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. Everything that I tell y'all about how court work, the judge literally repeated. It was dope. It was dope. It was dope. It was dope. Rams I Bryant. What you mean by the city? Like, it was dope. Like, everything that I tell y'all how court work, the judge just repeated. You would literally think that the judge watching. I know he doesn't watch the show, but you would literally think that the judge just be in here watching the show on a regular, everyday basis. Like, oh man, this guy Jack Frost, he's incredible. I'm gonna repeat what he's saying. That's basically how it looked. No cap. No cap. No questions? Time we got. Okay, so the trials expect to go to the March 31st. I believe he said that we're going to be off the 17th, the 23rd, and the 24th, various different reasons. Optimistically going to be starting on Tuesday morning. Like I said before, they had 12 jurors. One of the jurors, I believe they dropped. So there might be two jurors. One of the jurors, I believe they dropped, and they're looking for 6 alternate jurors. So I don't know if it's going to start on Tuesday. They might have. I only stayed for the morning section, just so we can be clear. So that's it. So I stayed for the morning section. They might not have actually got all the jurors still, because okay. So I'm gonna tell you what happened. So obviously I'm not telling you about jury. They walked about 6 pews, 36, right? 36, and then 15, sheesh. And then, okay, so we had a shitload of jurors in there. Before they even got to the point where they started asking questions to the jurors, and they were just like excusing the people, the judge, my dude, they shuffled down from 30-something jurors to like 13. I mean, pardon me, there was like 40-something, maybe 50 jurors. They got them down to like 13. So I don't think it's going to start on Tuesday. I think it might start on Wednesday. Because there's no court tomorrow, and there's going to be no court Friday. So I think, this is just me talking, they needed to get 6 more, and then one of the jurors, they dropped them, so they need to get 7 more. And I'm going to assume out of the 13 that was left, they maybe got 1, maybe 2. So they had another jury pool that was supposed to I think they was going to do in the afternoon, but I think they weren't gonna because they wasn't going to have enough time. So they're going to do that on Tuesday, I'm assuming, because there's going to be no court on Monday. So I think the court is going to start on Wednesday, but I might still, not wanting to miss the date, I might still go on Tuesday because I don't want to miss the date. I don't want there to be a situation where I don't know. We'll see how that works out. But I do not think they're going to be ready on Tuesday. So I'm going to show up on. I'm going to show up on Wednesday. I don't think they're going to be ready on Tuesday. But I don't want to miss the first day. I think I'm just going to show up on Tuesday. Not for nothing. I just think I'm going to show up on Tuesday. I don't want to miss the date because they're going to have witnesses, obviously, the first day. And even more importantly than that, I don't want to miss opening statements. But yeah, the judge basically said all the things that I always tell y'all how court works. I don't know what to tell you. Everything I tell y'all how court, what I'm constantly in here trying to reinforce to people. So You could be a little bit more intelligent and know what's going on if you ever get caught up in the legal system. All of those things I'm always trying to reinforce. Yeah, the judge said all of that in court today. Damn near verbatim. Like, obviously it can't be because he didn't hear me say it, but it's all the same stuff I tell you all the time. I keep trying to tell you, I don't work off of my opinion. You understand what I'm saying? I don't really work off of my opinion. I work off of what the facts are. And then from there we have a discussion. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I guess that's it for me. Is there anything y'all want to discuss about this particular case? That's what happened in court. Is there anything y'all want to ask me, or if there's anything y'all want to discuss about this particular case? Y'all really do be going to a lot of people's pages and y'all be discussing paperwork and everything. And those people don't even know how to read the paperwork. I keep trying to tell you that. That's why I don't want to go back and forth with nobody. People don't even know how to read the paperwork, man. Y'all gonna keep saying, y'all notice how often people say, I don't know what I'm talking about, but then the exact thing I tell y'all is gonna happen. Keep that in mind. Think about how often people tell you I don't know what I'm talking about. And the exact thing that I tell y'all is going to happen. And then those people that said that I didn't know what I'm talking about, they still keep saying I don't know what I'm talking about. They just tricking y'all. They just tricking y'all, man. I mean, it's hurting me that they tricking y'all. It's hurting me that they tricking y'all. Don't get this confused. But they just tricking y'all, man. They just tricking y'all. Shout out to the 22 people that hit that like button. If you are enjoying this show today, you could always hit that like button and show some support. Is there anything y'all want to talk about involving anything? We just open for open discussion right now. We've already been here for an hour and 18 minutes. I mean, pardon me, for more than an hour and 18 minutes. Tax case, it was supposed to start. The trial already started. That's what I'm assuming you're talking about. I'm assuming you're talking about the trial. The trial has already started as far as with them getting the jurors. The actual arguing of the trial, arguing of the case is supposed to start Tuesday, but I believe that it might be Wednesday because they still haven't gotten all the jurors. So it might be Wednesday. It might start next Wednesday. But the judge today said that they were I'll tell you what his actual words were. An optimistic Tuesday. They're looking at Tuesday, optimistically to Tuesday for a start, 11 a.m. But after seeing what was going on today with the jurors, They still not going to most likely have the jurors ready still. So it's probably not going to be on Tuesday. It's probably going to be like Wednesday. Because they lost the juror. They was supposed to have, they already had 12. They lost one of the jurors. There is no delay with the jurors. They just haven't selected the jurors. That's not a delay. Are you going to keep asking me questions that I can't possibly answer? I don't know who gets charged. If Biden loses the election, who's going to be president? There's no way for you to know, right? See how that works? I could ask you unknowable questions also. You want to ask me? If you ask, you can ask me another unanswerable question, and I'll ask you another unanswerable question. Come on, let's go. It doesn't matter what charges Troy Ave is facing. You ask me who's going to get charged if Tax walk free. I don't know who's going to get charged. How are you going to say, just so we can be clear, so everybody can understand people talking out of both sides of their mouth. You said, now if Tax walk free, who's going to get charged? And then you say, oh, I thought Troy Ave was also facing attempted murder charges. Okay, so he could be facing attempted murder charges. But Banger's gone. So why would he be facing attempted murder charges on somebody who's been murdered? Oh, you're just trying to sound smart. No, I get it. Come on, ask me another unanswerable question. Does anybody have any real questions, man, or real conversation? I'm too emotional. Not a problem. I'll just kick you. How about that? All of these emotions. Forward. See, that's what happened when you talk to people who's slow. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. That person's obviously slow. You heard what they tried to ask me, right? Just so I'm going to put it up on the screen for anybody that couldn't see. Hold on. I just want you to show what I mean by, so when you having these shows, a lot of times the people that want to do all the talking, sometimes the people that want to do all the talking is the people that's slow. So now check this out. This person thought that this was smart, just so we could be clear. I don't know the person's actual intelligence, but this was not smart. Now, if Tax walk free, who gets charged for killing Banger? What did I say? I said, how do I know? That's an unanswerable question. So then they say, oh, okay, I thought Troy Ave was also facing an attempt murder charge. What the hell are you talking about? So you're trying to tell me they gave Troy Ave an attempt murder charge, and Troy Ave is now going to be charged with the murder charge? What the hell are you talking about? Banger's actually passed away. Why would they charge him for an attempt murder charge? Like, what the hell? Like, Are you serious? But to that person's brain, that made sense. That a person getting charged with an attempt murder charge, if another person beats an actual murder, that what they can do now is, even though they're being only charged with attempt murder, now be charged with murder. No, that's too far of a leap. Because I don't want to assume with you. I don't know who they're gonna charge. What might they charge Troy? What the hell do I know? They might charge Troy. They also might not. I don't have enough information to make that assumption or make that assertion. Pardon me. I can make any assumption. I'll make one right now. You the brightest. you the most intelligent. Heard that assumption? SC says, how do you see Tax's career going if he found out guilty? Tax would be a millionaire right now if none of this stuff even happened. He'd be sitting pretty somewhere. Let's just be honest with you. And also, Casanova might not be locked up and in jail. You see what happens when people want to keep beefing and they think beefing is the way to whatever? Yeah, y'all guys keep beefing. I'm not beefing with nobody. I don't want to beef with nobody. I'm not beefing with nobody. Anybody that's beefing or talking crazy, that's because they trying to get my attention. I'm not beefing with nobody. I don't got time for that. The Lord says the Lord hates violence, right? So, and whenever we speak, we supposed to be trying to say nice things. We're not supposed to be trying to say mean, cruel or things or also the Lord doesn't want us talking to people who are foolish. So all of that falls inside of the realm of the type of content that these dudes create. You understand what I'm saying? So what you got to understand is if they've got that much, if they're breaking so many, or if they're going so far against the Most High in that manner, they saying things that's foolish. They're constantly trying to get other people to want to do violence, or they're always talking violence. They're constantly trying to create confusion. Satan is the author of confusion. Like, so pay attention. I don't usually read the word on the Tonight Show, but I'll read the one line that they sent. Whatever the line it is that they sent, I'm gonna read that. Joel verse 2, lines 12 and 13. I'm just gonna read this line right here. Right? Even now, declares the Lord, return to me with all your heart, with fasting and weeping and mourning. Whew. Rend your heart and not your garments. Return to the Lord your God, for he is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and abounding in love, and he relents from sending calamity. At this point, it just seems like whenever I talk about anything is what they send us. So I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. Y'all out here really probably hating on somebody that you should not be hating on. Y'all really out here trying to hurt a person that you probably really shouldn't be trying to hurt. I don't know what to tell you. We are going to be at... Yes, I got to get my ticket. I didn't get my ticket yet. Got it. Fat Joe said he don't want to be called What the fuck was doing? Yo, what the fuck? Pardon my language. This thing was in the toilet? In the toilet? This is bananas. $24th, come hang out. All you got to do is hit us up. Get your tickets. Come party in Manhattan. 11 to 4. It's going to be popping. I'm pretty sure we're going to have some people up in there. I'm not 100% sure who's going to be there to that particular night. I don't know yet. But I am talking to some people from Jersey. We might have some old school rappers. I don't want to say old school rappers. We might have some rappers from Jersey pulling up. I'm actually talking to some people from the Flavor Unit right now. We might have some Flavor Unit people pulling up. I hope. I'm not 100% sure, but they're going to be walking in with the kid. I'm talking to some Flavor Unit members right now to see if they want to come pull up to the Culture Bash with us. All you got to do is hit us up next tomorrow or the day after, whatever. I'll make it so I can put it up on the screen for y'all. But if y'all go and follow us on Instagram, you'll be able to see it. Also, Friday the 3rd, there's another event that's in Texas. The Jolliffe and Chill. This is in Texas. If you're down in Texas, make sure that you go pull up to this. It's gonna be lit. I already know my homie got something to do with it. And also, not for nothing, what day is this? And we got a boat cruise coming up. We have a boat cruise coming up. Every Thursday, come here for Thursdays is right there. I'm like, what day is this? Every Thursday, R&B Thursdays. We might go pull up to that tomorrow night. There might not be a Tonight Show tomorrow. We might go pull up to this tomorrow night. I don't know. This looks like they got food there. I'm supposed to, some of our people should be coming into town this week. If y'all coming into town this week, we get some of our peoples coming to town this week. I'm definitely going to pull up if some of our peoples come into town this week. And we're going to go see what's up with that. Also, shout out to Young Tef. She's a comedian. If you haven't seen her, she's actually pretty funny. For real, for real. Shout out to Young Tef. She got some stuff going on. And also, last but not least, Rich Baby got a thing going on. He actually has a channel that he got going up on now right now. Shout out to Rich Baby. Go pull up on him. I'm pretty sure they got a whole bunch of dope things going on over there also. And also, just so we could be clear, I actually was at one of these You're Annoying shows. It's in a lit ass spot. I wish I could go live there, but I can't because they got some stuff going on and whatever the hell. But it's a dope ass spot. Like, not for nothing. Like, the whole bar area is dope. Like, where it's at is dope. The You're Annoying jump off. Like I told y'all before, like, if y'all ever want to go out, if you in New York City and you're like, yo, Jack, what's popping? We want to go out tonight, me and a couple of my friends. What spot do you think we should pull up at? You tell me what you like, and I can tell you where you could go. That's a fact. I might pull up with you if you know what I'm saying. If I F with you like that, I might pull up with you. And if I pull up with you, we going live. Copy? If I pull up with any of y'all to any of one of these events, we going live. Quavo says there'll be no more Migos in his new song Greatness. I can't rock with Quavo right now. I just can't rock with Quavo. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I just can't rock with him. I don't care how much I don't F with a family member. If you had something going on with them leaving this world, I doubt I'm gonna be. We're not gonna be buddy buddy. That's not gonna happen. My fault. You asked me Tax career if he's found not guilty. I thought I answered it, but just in case I didn't, I'll answer it again. I thought Tax was gonna had the potential he'd be a millionaire right now. Like Tax would be killing it right now if that shit didn't happen. He was ascending. I need y'all to understand something. What happened shortly around the time that Tax, all of this stuff started happening? When did they get ready to give Charlemagne his deal with HBO? When did they get ready to give Charlemagne his deal with HBO? You get it? So Tax would be killing it right now. Tax. Charlemagne is like Tax OG. You understand what I'm saying? So he'd be killing it right now. I think that he had the goods. I think the only thing that actually hurt Tax is this situation. I think that if Tax would have been able to not beef with that faction, because what you got to remember is everybody runs. This is what I need y'all to understand, especially you dudes that's trying to get lit off of arguing with niggas. Everybody runs in the same circles, homie. All of the events is the same events. Y'all beefing with people who you gonna have to be working with at the same or working around the same time in the same building. That don't make sense. We all trying to get money and we all trying to live, right? We all get money and we all trying to live, right? That's what we trying to do. We all trying to get money and we all trying to live. Right? So why would you be beefing with people? Beef don't really bring money. So that's why you got to understand these dudes that be online doing all of this beefing. How many of them you really see make it? They're not doing nothing but trying to stop other people from making it. That's it. Most of these people that don't do anything but beef don't even have no talent. Taxstone had talent. Look at these dudes that's beefing. Tell me what they could do other than talk negative about other people. Tell me one talent any of these dudes have other than try to say that another person doesn't have talent. Just give me one. They don't have any. All they have is arguing at other niggas. And what did we call that 10 years ago if a nigga always arguing at another nigga? What did we call that? We said that he had female tendencies, didn't we? Tell me where the lie's at. If we go back 10 years and you see a dude constantly talking about another nigga, everybody looking at him side-eyed. Tell me where the lie's at. So what you have to understand is most of these dudes don't have no talent. The only thing they could do is be disrespectful. Because that's all you could do when you don't have no talent, is to try to distract people. Their whole thing is they trying to stop other people from making a living. Because they know that they can't. They know that they can't do this type of shit to make a living. So their whole thing is to try to stop another nigga from making a living. Let's try to block his blessings. You understand? So that's all that these niggas is trying to do. And that, I'm not just speaking about for myself. I'm saying in general. Tax should have never got involved in that type of conversations. Now, it's one thing to be beefing with the nigga. You say a couple of things. It is what it is. People disagree. But it's another thing to come online every single day and talk about a nigga. It's another thing to make it a point of contention that every time you get the opportunity, you're going to disrespect somebody. Why do you think I just read the Bible, man? Because we all need more God in our life. And some people, they don't even know what God looked like. If God was speaking to them, they couldn't tell. If God was speaking to them, they'd probably just think it's a hater. If God came down and talked to them, if Christ came and tried to contact them and speak to them and try to give them some wisdom, they'd probably just say, you know, Christ is a sucker. You understand? So this is the type of energy that these people move with, just in general. So what are you going to do with your life? Just keep that type of stuff in your back of your mind and take mental notes of that. How often have I told y'all what's going to happen in the future before it happens? So I'm constantly telling y'all, showing you that there's a good chance, or the Most High is showing you. I'm not showing you anything. Or the Most High is basically pointing at me, showing you that he's with me constantly. So who could be the people that's against me? If the Most High is, if I'm literally telling y'all about stuff that's going to happen before it happens, over and over and over again. I tell y'all exactly how court work. I don't make no bones about it. I tell you, I read the Bible. I be telling you about what's in the Bible without me even picking the Bible up and telling you. Just the words are just coming out of my mouth. But you still don't think that the Most High got his hand on me? Even though in my normal, natural conversation, I'm saying exactly what is in Scripture. And you don't think that God got his hand on me? So God got his, if I'm normally in my normal regular conversation, just how I normally talk, then who are the people that's against me? I'm just asking. Just take that shit into consideration when you go through your life. Some of us has been searching for the Most High for so long that he's just in our life. Some of them have been trying to avoid God for so long that they hate every single thing that looks to them godly. They've been trying to avoid God for so long. They've been trying to run away from God for so long that they hate anybody that embraces them. There's nothing I could do about that. With that being said, I'm just going to let y'all go because we don't have that much conversation in the chat right now. And I don't know. I think I'm going to go get me a snack and I want to relax, and my arm is just really messed up. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's kind of like a little bit out of the socket. I heard it crack like 3 or 4 times today. I thought it kind of went back in a little, and then it cracked a little bit more. I think it came back out. So it's not all the way out the socket, obviously, but I don't think it's like all the way in there. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, everybody just Satan just never sleeps. And I'm going to do another incredible job on this track. Because that's just how it works. Oh, something I wanted to talk about real quick. Shout out to Instagram. I hope this becomes a thing. Shout out to Instagram. Instagram and Facebook are trying this thing out where they're going to allow for people to be able to buy their badge. And I can't wait. I'm 100% going to purchase the $15 a month badge. And the reason why I'm going to do that is, listen and pay attention. They're going to give you extra protection from people trying to pretend to be like cloning your page and shit like that. So I'm 100% in for this. And I hope YouTube does something along these lines. The fuck? Oh, wow. So shout out to Instagram. I can't wait for them to do that thing because I damn sure want to do it. That's a whole fact. I'm for the protection of especially actual people that's creating content, because there's just a lot of people that they're not creating content. They just trying to destroy people's lives. And God can't come quick enough. That's all I can say. God just cannot come quick enough. With that being said, everybody, please, if you got anybody still awake in your household, give them a hug. Tell them you love them. You don't never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Give people their flowers while they're still here. Also, before you go to bed and after you wake up, glass of water, nutrients, stomachs. And whenever you're helping somebody else be the best them that they could be, in that moment, you being the best you that you could be. So go out there and be great. Like, comment, subscribe. God first. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification. Hashtag Bronx Homers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one.